Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage, where we're making our way through some video game movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, Mason, in 1999, please leave a like.
Sure.
But also, 1999 is widely known as one of the best years for movies. People say that.
The Matrix.
That's right. The Fight Club.
The Phantom Menace.
The Two Hands.
Sure.
The Iron Giant, The Talented Mr. Ripley, Sixth Sense, Notting Hill, Bowfinger, Wild Wild West, Office Space, all classics. I could go on.
When did the movie Wing Commander come out?
If you had to guess, what year would you say it came out?
Probably 1999.
Correct, that's right.
Sort of kills the streak, doesn't it?
It really does. What a bad year for movies.
I know, right? Awful. Yuck. Well, I mean, that big streak of incredible movies explains why I didn't see this in cinemas.
Yeah.
Also, this was an era when we saw everything. So why not this? And I think it's because I saw the reviews and I believed them.
Yeah.
And they were right.
100% right. Well, also, this got rushed, and we'll talk about the production of it a bit more in depth, but because they had to get this out before The Phantom Menace.
Right. Now, you might have this in trivia later.
Sure.
But did this movie have trailers for The Phantom Menace in front of it?
Yes, it did. It's one of those,
Yeah,
where people
okay.
went to see it, and they're like, well, we'll see a Phantom Menace trailer, and that's cool, and then we can watch a cool space movie. Oh, no. This is bad, and also The Phantom Menace is bad. This is a bad year for movies. I'm just kidding, Mason. The Phantom Menace is actually a classic now. I don't know if you've heard.
I've heard.
We covered them. We looked at all of those.
Yeah.
So the production of this went from 12 months to 6 months to get it out. And boy, can you see it and feel it.
Yeah, this feels like a movie that was knocked out real quick at Warner Brothers Movie World Hollywood on the Gold Coast. But it's
Sure.
not. It was filmed in, like, Lithuania or something.
Yeah, it also
Same vibe.
Yeah, it also feels like it was filmed in Lithuania. Though I will say this cool cast. Cool.
Very cool cast. It's got Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard, who I consider to be the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis of their era.
Yep.
You got a cool guy and a goofy guy. They were in She's All That before this.
Uh-huh.
They were in this, then they were in both Scooby-Doo movies.
Hell yeah.
You know, just touring the world.
Having the best time.
One of them going, wow, lady! You know.
And the other one going,
I'm Matthew
Matthew
Lillard.
Lillard. Same joke.
Yep.
We did the same joke.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's a good sign.
I think so too. We're on the same wavelength with this movie, which we think is...
Terrible. It's awful.
It's not good.
Freddie Prinze Jr. said of this movie, I can't stand Wing Commander. I can't watch 1 second of that movie. I read the script and loved it. So did my buddy Matthew Lillard. We both got the parts. We went on location and they said, hey, here's the new script. It was a piece of shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So the director of this, though, and you probably know, is Chris Roberts, who created the Wing Commander video game series.
James, it's a computer game series. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Is it now? Go on.
You got to play it on your PC. You got to boot up your 380. You got to boot up your 386.
Yep.
You got to ensure the sound card is set to the correct settings.
You got to buy a copy of this from a weird market, a weird bootleg copy of Wing Commander.
But you got the disc and you got the box and you got the game manual, the whole thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, what I would say is this series is notable because it was like, you know, one of the early kind of space sims, like space action sims.
Yeah.
But by the third game, they'd switched to like full motion video cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
The prior versions were all like, you know, your standard pixel fare.
So you're saying that people had a really good idea of what this universe should look like, and maybe they should adhere to that.
Yeah, Wing Commander 3 had Mark Hamill.
Yep.
It had Malcolm McDowell. It had John Rhys Davies. It even had Tom Wilson.
Whoa.
Tom Wilson from Back to the Future. He's
Yep.
Biff from Back to the Future and many other
And
things.
Griff and Mad Dog Tannen.
That's right. But he is the Matthew Lillard role in those games.
Ah.
Yeah. And when the movie was announced, I think I went, oh, this is okay.
Yeah, because this is sort of supposed to be a prequel, sort of. Not really sort of, but also different universe, but also some of the games later reference events in this movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a bit of a deep dive on Wing Commander lore. No, this movie seems wrong. From my very basic understanding of these games and what things are supposed to look like and history of, etc., and who's got magic navigational powers, aka the Force.
I feel like even if you didn't do that deep dive, this movie does feel wrong. Something about it.
Yeah.
There's so much. It's all exposition in this movie.
Oh my God,
Like
Mason.
for a space action movie.
Yep.
There's so much just talking on the bridge.
You know what? And it's not only that. There's so much information that they throw at you in text. In the opening, it says, Vector Fleet Headquarters, Pegasus Asteroid Base, Ulysses Corridor, March 15th, Earth Year 2654, 0900 hours, Zulu time. None of that is important. Maybe the year
Sure.
Because also, like,
You can just say the future.
Yeah, looking at that, it's worthless. It's worthless information, and it's too much information. Also, I don't really know often what's going on. Like, everything is about jump points and getting to a jump point and going to a location, but also you can't use the jump point because it's impossible, actually, unless you've got magic powers or a cross with a knife in it. The knife never really comes into play either. And they're always just telling you what time it is and... But it's because I guess
That's important information, James.
yeah, but I guess because it is the movie's like a ticking clock.
Yeah.
because they have to get somewhere before the bad guys get there.
They have to get to Earth before the Kilrathi get to Earth. Because
Yeah.
the Kilrathi have acquired an Earth Navcom, James.
Yeah.
In the games, they're like lion people.
Yeah.
But in this, they're shaved lion people.
Yeah,
I don't know why
they've
they've
all
done
got
that.
alopecia.
Yeah, I guess they... Oh, okay. They're the
Yeah.
angriest clan of Kilrathi because they've been ostracized because they have alopecia. But they've acquired this Navcom, which will allow them to use a jump point to get to Earth, and the good guys are behind them by like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, who knows how much damage they can do in the 2 hours before, the good guys get
Sure.
there.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But the information is just fucked. I remember seeing like a navigational kind of computer interface, and it's like a bunch of lines, and it says Sol, then it says Charabois Quasar, and then Vega, and then Pegasus, and then Kilrath Battle Group, and also Time to Target. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. And it's often they're talking about places they need to go or have been. And I'm just not following it, Mason. And it's also because I am bored. And also there's that bit where that guy goes to shoot the glass and the glass doesn't break, and then he hits it with the butt of the gun, and then there's a mark on the glass. And I'm like, what is the glass in this universe? We all know glass isn't frozen air. We've established that in previous videos.
I guess we've
But is it
established
frozen air in this universe?
Oh, it might
Is
be.
it fantastical enough that it is frozen air? Is glass frozen air?
I don't know what any of that is, James.
Anyways.
I guess because the action is to a minimum because of, I assume, budget restraints and the reduced shooting schedule.
They did
basically.
cut the budget significantly, yeah.
I guess what we're supposed to get from this is like it's sort of like we're supposed to, the interpersonal stuff we're supposed to get
Yeah.
on board with. Like, Freddie Prinze Jr., he shows up, his mum
Yeah.
was a pilgrim. There's a bit of space racism in this
yeah.
universe.
Spacism.
So in this universe, the first explorers of the universe were from Earth, and they're called pilgrims.
Yep.
But then there was a war between the pilgrims and the
There was a war.
regulars, so now everybody hates the pilgrims.
Yep.
But Freddie Prinze Jr. is the son of a pilgrim, so maybe he has this special the Force power where he can navigate
He's got the Force.
the jump points faster than any computer kind
He
of
can't
thing.
do anything else.
Yeah, but he's kind of like he's the cool hotshot kind of guy, and he
Yep.
shows up and he sits in somebody's little space fighter, and he gets a talking to.
Yeah,
from
that's a
some,
weird
from some
situation.
lady, James.
Yeah.
From some lady.
Yeah,
and
who
he's
is
like,
this woman
I'm gonna
even?
be pushed around by some lady, some greasy
grease
mechanic,
monkey.
some grease monkey. But then it turns out she's the wing commander, a girl. She's the titular wing commander.
Yeah, from the movies and the games.
Yeah, well, they've got off on a rocky start, James. They're not gonna ever get along, I don't think.
Also, she's throwing him scenarios. She's like, what would you do in this situation? And he's like, well, I'd do this. And she's like, no, you die. And then she's like, what would you do in this scenario? And he goes, well, I'd shoot all the bad guys. And she goes, well, why you were busy shooting one of the bad guys? 6 other bad guys appeared and they killed you. What the fuck scenario is this? Oh yeah, and then you got hit by lightning, and then you were hungry. Like you're just making up.
You got distracted because you didn't eat a Snickers before you left. A space Snickers. Then they've actually got an anti-laser shield, and you can't break through the shield. I've just decided there's a shield.
Horrible.
But you're rooting for them, James. You know what I
No,
mean? Those
I'm
two,
not. I'm
aren't
not
you?
at all.
Ah.
The only bit where I kind of got a little bit intrigued was when they did the Matrix camera.
Yeah.
But really badly. But also a month before the Matrix came out.
Crazy.
So I guess I will give it that.
Yeah, but I mean, the Matrix used it for like incredible,
Yeah.
climactic bullet dodging action.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's just a couple of guys falling over in a mess hall. You know?
That's true, yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. Did you like all the Ulysses stuff?
Ulysses sailed between the whirlpool Charybdis and the island monster Scylla. She snatched 6 of his men and ate them.
No.
Do you think this is a good lead into Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey?
Sure it is. We'll put that in the title.
I'll put a hashtag in.
That'll get some clicks.
Yeah, I think so. Will it? Is anyone looking at that yet? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, The Kilrathi. Director Chris Roberts, he regretted how they turned out in this film. He wanted a suit that's similar to what was used in Alien.
Uh-huh.
But Patrick Tatopoulos, you might recognize that name.
Patrick Tatopoulos?
Yeah, he's Matthew Broderick's character in Godzilla, and also the guy who did a bunch of design work and whatever. He's an effects creature kind of dude. He cost too much, so they couldn't use him. So they went with a team which had less experience, and that looked bad. And then he was like, "This looks bad. I know what we'll do. We'll fix it in post. Classic 1999.
Nice.
This will work."
Yeah, hell yeah.
And 20th Century Fox said, "No, we're making money on this film, even if it sucks due to the video and TV deals we have. If we give you more money, that might not be the case anymore. So tough luck." So that's why they look like slippery frogmen or whatever
see.
they ended
Okay,
up
right,
with.
right,
yeah.
right.
Do they speak English in the games?
I don't know, man.
Is it like blah, 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 blah?
I was a fan of the spin-off Privateer, where you were like a freelancer in that universe.
Not privateer?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
But I'm not working for the man.
Not
I'm
working
working
for
for
the man?
myself.
Yeah, okay.
Making that sweet space coin for myself.
Spoin. They do a bit of they do some submarine stuff in this. There's a depth charge kind of moment, which is obviously
sure.
a classic submarine or even space trope. They did it in, Star Trek, some of those movies, 2 specifically, I guess, but
It is
other
in 2,
ones.
yes.
Yeah, but they're also like, shh, be quiet. Dude, you're in space. But I guess also this is the kind of space where there are explosion sounds like Star Wars or whatever. So maybe if you do whisper, you can be heard and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know whose ship was who. I'm like, is that the bad? Oh, that ship's blowing up. That's bad. Oh no, that's good.
Well, you just got to
I
see who
think.
cheers.
Yeah, that's
You got to
true.
see who cheers in the mess hall, and then you know who's winning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I tell you what, Mason, it's not without its sad moments, like when Rosie died, and then they just unceremoniously dump her ship off the deck, just roll out a bulldozer and just push it into that ditch.
Yeah, the dead pilot ditch.
Yeah, they ever clear that out? They have a big broom that they can get in there with, just shove it away.
Yeah. Well, they flush it at night when nobody's there.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. And then there's a moment where the hull, if we're naming specific moments in the movie.
Oh, so many memorable moments.
This is what I remember.
This is our last memorable moment.
Yeah, it is actually. Looking ahead, you're right. Because my next moment I want to talk about, I had to rewind it 3 times because I kept blanking on what was happening. So Freddie Prinze Jr., there's a moment where he's going to get sucked out into space. And at first, like, as he's getting pulled off the deck and he's, like, flying about.
I'm getting pulled off. I'm getting sucked out. Help.
But not just yet.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
But everybody else in the background at first is just kind of casually kind of hanging on. Just, like, a bit of wind whipping their hair. But they're, like, just watching him fly about.
Poirot's in this.
Poirot is in this.
David Suchet, the most famous.
Is he still doing it, or is he dead?
I don't know, James.
Yeah.
Here is his current status on the screen. But I'm like, when he's introduced, I'm like, is that Michael Ironside? No, it's David Suchet.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird to see him without the mustache.
Yeah, I know. What's he doing? That's why I didn't recognize him. I'm like, I know this guy, but I don't know from where. Yeah. This is a movie also where they're very casual about people dying, and like once you're dead, you're gone. Is that from the game? And if so, is there a lesson?
I don't know, man.
Is there a lesson in that? In like, don't remember your mates, but actually remember your mates?
I don't know, man.
That's a lesson, right?
I was a lone wolf in the privateer or possibly privateer game.
Your own grease monkey, I
Yeah,
remember.
that's exactly
Slipping
right.
and sliding around your cockpit covered in grease.
Firing lasers or proton torpedoes or missiles or whatever they had. I don't know.
At who or whatever.
Yeah, just blasting them around.
Yeah.
Buying iron ore or something or wood.
Good. So in the ending in this, Freddie Prinze Jr. lures the killer Athy into a ditch. No, a void. A hole. Explosion. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I literally had to rewind it 3 times because I was watching it, but I kept blanking. And it wasn't like I was on my phone or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was literally...
You're on ketamine.
Yeah, I was on ketamine. And I just have to... It just wasn't
Yeah, it's sinking in.
sticking, like,
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And this is my job. Which is why I rewound, and I eventually figured it out. He lures them close, and they didn't see the big blue void or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
didn't see the big blue
but
void.
he's able to
Yeah,
get
because
out.
he's Pilgrim.
Yeah, he's got the Force or whatever. Also, from what I can understand, this does look very different from the games because, you look at the cutscenes, especially the live-action ones, they don't feel like they're inside of a submarine the entire time. The sets are very closed in, which is not an accident. They made it like that on purpose. Chris Roberts said, "I took the look of the world too far away from the game look. I had my reasons, partly because I was paranoid about being accused of being too much of a Star Wars clone."
And second of all, I lost the keys to the video game sets.
Yeah, I
the
guess-
room with the video game sets in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "In retrospect, considering how Star Wars Episode 1 turned out and looked, it was the wrong decision. But at the time, I was picturing the next Star Wars to have the awesomeness of the first 3 films, not the disappointing mess that was Episode 1.
Oh, that's a bit of shade on a movie that made infinitely more money than yours.
Oh my God, so much more money. I want to talk about that. But Chris Roberts also, he's mostly known for game development, and he's currently working on Star Citizen, a game that is constantly being funded, but seems like it will never come out.
Yes.
I know there's like a beta version or whatever, but I feel like everything they're trying to do, this expansive universe and whatever, the longer you delay that, the more games come out that can do that.
It's a Duke Nukem Forever situation.
Exactly. You kind of, at certain points, have to scrap everything and then redo it all because all the technology has moved beyond what you're trying to do.
And it's also, I think, one of those games where, like, the reach always exceeds the grasp. It's always like these, you know, it's a game that is so advanced. You can plant an acorn on a planet and then leave and then come back in 100 years' time and it's grown into a tree or whatever. And it's like, come on, man.
But why are you putting that in?
Yeah, that's... I just want to shoot a big lion, man, honestly.
You want to be slippery in your cabin, don't you?
Exactly. Firing missiles or torpedoes or whatever.
Using the Force or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Biff's there.
Yeah, give the money to Biff.
Give it to Biff.
Biff could be my computer, my ship's computer.
I want to talk about that. Who's the ship's computer?
Strafe left, butthead.
You could say.
Do a barrel roll. Idiot. Butthead. Butthead.
You idiot. I mean butthead.
No riffing in the booth.
No biffing in the booth.
No biffing in the booth.
Anyway, it's time for Wingear Command Trivia.
I love this.
Yeah. So a subplot about a traitor was cut from the film. However, toy manufacturer X-Toys made and distributed the Pilgrim Traitor action figure.
Damn.
It comes with a mask hiding the traitor's face. When the mask is removed, the identity of the traitor is revealed. Do you want to guess who it is?
Is it one of the characters in the movie?
Yeah, it's Admiral Bill Wilson.
Oh, classic Bill Wilson.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
He's one of the characters.
The one that isn't David Suchet?
Yeah, he's not David Suchet.
It's not Poirot, it's the other, probably one of the other guys.
I don't have any more information than that, but yeah,
crazy.
You are correct.
Wow.
So there's a few Star Wars alumni in this, which is fun. Hugh Quashie is in this and The Phantom Menace.
Oh.
He's Panaka.
Okay.
Or whatever his name is.
Panaka.
Freddie Prinze Jr., of course, plays Kanan in Star Wars Rebels.
Which one's that again?
He's got a little soul patch and a ponytail.
Soul patch guy, sure.
Sure. David Warner, he voiced Grand General Brashen in Star Wars Force Commander.
Oh.
And Mark Hamill is the voice of Freddie Prinze Jr.'s onboard computer.
Wow. Speaking of Hugh Quashie,
Yeah.
he's also the voice of a computer in an episode of Red Dwarf.
Which one?
The Polymorph 2 episode.
Oh, I like that episode.
The one with
Polymorph.
Dwayne Dibley.
Yeah.
He's Dwayne Dibley.
Here he is. This is our Red Dwarf episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you watch stuff like this, and then just Red Dwarf, especially early Red Dwarf, has done just so much sci-fi stuff better and first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And on even less money somehow.
But looks better than this.
I mean, come on. Let's be real, man. We're kicking this movie while it's down.
I think,
But not a lot of stuff looks worse than Red Dwarf.
No, I think a lot of it does look better, especially like, the model work and
Oh, yeah, that's true.
whatever, Mason,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, speaking of Red Dwarf and I guess Great Britain in particular, this went straight to video/DVD there.
I see.
So it didn't help contribute to the box office for this on a budget of $27 million, which I guess considering what they did with this, it's not terrible, but it made $11.6 million.
Less.
Yeah. This is going to be a whole franchise. This is going to be like Star Wars and etc. Anyways, people, they've voted on what the final video in this video game series is.
What is it?
They picked Uncharted.
Oh, that's awful. It's an awful movie for different reasons. For this being an awful movie. At least this feels like it was genuine.
Does
You
it?
know what I mean? Yeah, like it was made with an earnestness, I think.
Yeah.
Given what they had to work with, which was no money and no resources and no time.
Yeah.
But Uncharted, there's a Papa John's in Barcelona. They got a...
But there's probably a Papa John's in Barcelona in real life.
There is, I looked it up. There really is
good.
one.
Well, we will talk about that
Yeah.
next week. And if you do want to see that early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co where all our videos go if you want to see them early. In addition to that, we do video game Let's Plays, we do bonus podcasts, we do movie commentaries. Our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That comes out there Sunday as opposed to Monday. We recently did an episode on the Minecraft movie. A Minecraft time.
Oh, the Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
Terrific, okay. That's based on a video game. Kids love it.
Kids love it.
They love the movie. Do they love a series of middle-aged men
Yep.
schlepping around
Yeah,
in the
they do.
Minecraft universe?
That's what they love.
Okay, that's
they love
great.
that action figure, Jack Black action figure, as we all do.
Jack Blackshin figure.
Well, very good. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this.
Thank you.
And thank you to Ben for the edit.
Thank you, Ben.
And we'll see you on the next one. And it's Uncharted.
Grab
Mark
that-
Wahlberg.
Grab that gem, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yuck.
Could have been worse. We'll talk about it
You're
next
not,
week.
you're not selling it.
I'm trying to sell it.
Mark Wahlberg, yuck.
You find him loathsome.
I do. Stay prayed up, everyone.